I am literally the worst person at using templates, and I'll tell you why. But first, if you have stumbled upon this, you're listening to me or watching me, and you're like, who is this? Well, I'm Kimberly Inez Mays, and I demystify technology for small and medium businesses so that they can generate and nurture leads with marketing automation and AI. And I'll tell you why I am the worst at using templates. Okay, I had to take a long pause and a long sip of water because I'm really trying to suppress some coughing, so you'll have to forgive me on that. But yeah, I'm literally the worst person to use anything that is pre-configured for someone else that is not me. And I hold fast to this belief so much so that I tell people, look, use a template if you need to, but by the time I am done teaching you, you shouldn't need a template. You should be able to do it, build what you need all on your own. And it doesn't really matter if you're doing websites, landing pages, email funnels, I don't know, like actual email designs. It doesn't matter if you are even creating custom GPTs. Whatever the case may be, you can create stuff that is customized for your business without having to be a programmer. And how can I say this so confidently? Because I am a programmer. I'm a programmer at heart. Been doing this since I was 16 years old back in 1990. It doesn't matter, but I was late 90s, and so I started at a very young age, and I was very curious, and I just loved taking something that didn't exist and making it into something. And I just want to show people the power of being able to do just that. Now, I'm not saying that you don't use templates or use things that have already been built by somebody else to get a particular result, though that'd be silly, right? I want you to be able to avail yourself to use anything that is available to you because that just makes sense. It makes good sense if you can use something that gets you there faster. But what happens if it just slows you down? And you'll get to a point where it will slow you down once you have that clear roadmap of what it is that you need to be doing for your business. I teach this thing called the box method, and it is not trademarked. So if you go and you Google it, or if you look it up, you'll probably get a whole bunch of results that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But I teach something that I call the box method. And I'm pretty sure I can't trademark it because I'm pretty sure it's already taken and I have no desire to do so, but I digress. My box method is very simple. Draw a box, then draw an arrow, and then draw another box. So in the first box, that's where your customer, your audience is. And then the second box is where you want them to be. Keep drawing boxes until you run out of ideas to bring people. Usually that last box is going to be your highest ticketed package. And sometimes I like to work backwards. I go from the big box, the highest ticketed package, the ultimate of what I can offer. And then I draw boxes leading up to that box. So I start with the end in mind, like Stephen Covey says. And what tends to happen is it keeps me focused. It keeps me focused on the things that I want to do, the things that I want to build, how I want to build it. And I find that when I have that blueprint, I don't really need a lot of other folks' templates. I'm like, okay, well, this is nice. Like I'll use some stuff as a shortcut, but then I end up quickly dismantling it to the point where I can't even recognize that it was a template in the first place. It is sometimes I just end up spending more time undoing or modifying a template than if I would have just done it myself. So I find that when I'm very focused, things get done so much faster than when I'm not focused. And so the things that I teach other people are the things that I do myself because I know how easy it is to get distracted. And when I'm talking about templates, I'm not talking about just a template in your system where you go into MailChimp or High Level or whatever platform you're using. Maybe you're using WordPress, Squarespace. I don't care about, I don't really care about the specifics of that. I'm talking about the model that someone else has already built, and you want to be exactly like that person without examining what it is that you want to do. I'll give you an example. I have a lot of clients, and they are primarily female, but there are some men too. But I find that this is most prevalent in female business owners is this girl boss aesthetic, and I don't know any other like polite way to say it or to talk about it, but there's an aesthetic that you know there's the fancy pictures and the fancy colors and the beautifully laid out this, and then they get you sign up and you get this beautiful thing, and it's great because I know exactly the time and effort it takes to build that stuff, and I love that for whoever is doing that. I don't want to say, oh, I love that for you, because I don't mean to sound that dismissive, but there are a lot of people who come to me and they say they want that page, they want that funnel, they want that look and feel, they want exactly that without being that person, without having that same type of business. So I'll kind of further elaborate. A lot of female coaches, or I don't want to shout out just women, but a lot of coaches or influencer speakers, they'll say, I want to look expensive. I want to look like this other person. I want to look like this influencer I follow. And I'll get forwards, and I'll get like all this like, oh, well, look at this person's page for an example of what I'm looking for. Look at this one's thing. And I'm like, yeah, but they're doing something completely different than what you're doing. So why are we going to copy them? Let's focus on the results that you want and the people you're trying to attract. Their audience is not going to resonate with the stuff that you're trying to do, and your target audience is not going to resonate with the audience of that business. So why are we trying to copy that business? And so that's what I mean by templates, right? Because when you have your eye focused on something someone else has built custom to what they want, then it's hard to customize things to what you want. So that's why I teach that whole box method, because there's no one size fits all. And the thing that a lot of people don't understand is you grow into a lot of things that other people see, right? Because I would say years ago, I would never be this comfortable on camera speaking for as long as I do. And it's a skill set. It's a skill set to know how to set up, proper lighting and audio. And will I say that, oh, this is the peak and I'll never get better than this? No, of course not. I'm also learning as well. But I had to grow into this. In fact, I'll probably do a review of some of my earlier videos where I talk about websites and other things like that. I did a lot of content that was more teaching focused, but you could see the difference in demeanor and confidence and quality. And, you could, well, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I'll be able to tell because I was the one who did it, that it was multiple rounds of takes and edits and stress, and a lot of time and prep and setup went into a lot of it, where now I'll just press record and I say to myself, if I stutter, I'll keep going. If I stammer, I'll keep going. If I cough, I'll keep going. If one of my cats jumps on camera, I'm gonna keep going. But I had to grow into that, and I couldn't have grown into that by trying to copy someone else, by using a template. I don't have a template, right? I'll look and I'll say, I'll take a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, but I have my own blueprint that I've drawn out. Now let's go back to templates when it comes to systems and things like that. I find that as a service provider, I don't use the templates that are available in a lot of the platforms. So I'm going to pick on one, but this is a lot of them. Let's say High Level, right? Because I use High Level now. They have some beautifully designed things, but I'm like, well, as long as you know how to lay out a header, lay out a row, and then a subheading, and then a button here and there, you don't really need it that much. But then again, I'm speaking from a bias of somebody who has done web design before. But when we talk about templates for writing, for example, we're talking about templates for just literally anything else, maybe the number of touch points and email sequences and things like that. You know that you can look at a template and decide not to use it. You can just learn from it, but you don't need to copy it. Because by the time I finish teaching you what you need to know, you won't need to necessarily use it. But I will say that if you are going into a system and you're brand new, you see something you like, definitely use it. But when you use it, also learn that you don't need to keep everything that's there, and you can add what you want. And that is literally what my whole box method is about: adding the pieces you want, subtracting the pieces that you don't want, and staying focused on the path that you set out for yourself so you don't get distracted. But yeah, I just when I thought of this this topic for this video, I thought it was really funny because out of all the times I've purchased a template, and I buy templates too. I spend money on this stuff. Every time I purchase a template, try to use a template, I would say 9.5 times out of 10, I end up not using it. And then the small percentage of times that I do use it, I spend a lot of time just deleting stuff that I don't want, and it looks nothing like what I started out with. And this is not a brag. This is just when you become radically self-aware and you just know what you want and you just kind of fixated and focused on that. There is really nothing out there that impresses you after a while or satisfies you to copy off of. And that's what I want to get everybody to the point, into the comfortability of doing, is being satisfied with who you are in your journey, where you are growing into whoever you're going to be, or growing your business into whatever it is going to look like. I want you to get to that comfort level, because I hear so many people saying, oh, I'm not technical, I'm not good at this. I'm just like, well, first of all, if you're going to tell yourself you're not good at something, then you'll never be good at it. I still don't think I'm great at a lot of stuff that people think I'm like the expert on, but I'm never going to sit here and say, oh, I'm not good at it. The most I'll just say is, hey, that's not in my wheelhouse, and that's not where I prefer to put my time and talent. But I'm never going to say, well, I'm terrible at it, and because I can't do this, that I'm going to remain stuck here. No, like, there's no shame in hiring somebody to do something that you're not good at or not skillful at. But at the same time, you don't want to keep beating that drum that, oh, I'm not good with technology, I'm not good with landing pages, I'm not good with emails. Because first of all, if you keep telling yourself that, you'll never be good at it. And the idea is not to be good at it, it's to be able to know enough to get it done, whether that's through you or through someone else. And I keep going back to, that's what I teach, that's what I teach, that's what I teach, right? So exactly what does it look like when I teach something? Well, that's the Automated Thought Leader Academy, where I teach how to lay out your own blueprint and then decide what pieces are important to you and what is not, and to get from point A to point Z with being able to be comfortable with skipping some of the letters that you don't need for now. And whether that is using something simple like a MailChimp or some of the other smaller email marketing platforms, or whether you want to use something that's more robust, that has a CRM inside of it, is totally up to you. You can get mostly the same results using any sort of tech stack. And that's what I stand on. And I would say that, yes, I can be challenged on literally anything, and I can build something. If you give me any tech stack, I can work with you to build on it. Because at the end of the day, it's about what you're comfortable with and what you can actually complete. It's not about trying to keep up with this one and that one, because that is setting yourself up for failure, right? So that's all I got to say about that. That's usually how I end all my videos now. That's all I got to say about that. But is it really all I got to say about that? Well, I guess for now, because now I've been talking for at least 15 minutes. But if you made it this far, I do want to talk to you about the Automated Thought Leader Academy. It is my academy, my teaching program, where I show you literally the basis of a lot of the foundational things that you need for your business: collecting emails, being on social, just being able to be present in front of an audience, and how to evaluate a tech stack, how to look at the tools that you need and look at what you don't need, and how to apply your time wisely so that you can just spend more time serving people and doing the things that you want to do in your own business without being stuck and bogged down. Oh my God, there is nothing worse than people telling me they've spent months or weeks or however long learning or going through some training program on some software that they purchased because they need to learn it. And I'm like, well, yeah, it should. If it's not easily usable out the box, that means two things. It means that if you're not in a position where you actually enjoy configuring that kind of stuff, which I kind of am, but if it's not easily usable out the box, then you need somebody that can follow your blueprint to execute and get it to where it needs to be, or you need to use something else, because you don't have time to be like taking courses and looking at modules and how to like set up an email list or set up this, set up that. Like, yes, definitely take my stuff and follow my instructions, but it doesn't take that long, right? Like my stuff is short. And if you get on a call with me, literally you'll be up and running in like an hour, because it's that simple. And I'm pretty much that good at showing you exactly what it is that you need to do. So that's the Automated Thought Leader Academy. So if you're interested in what that could look like, I am doing automation insight sessions. These are free 30-minute conversations where we talk about where you are, where you need to be, not where you are, where you need to be, where you are, where you'd like to be, and what you've tried and how I can best support you. And so wherever this is posted, you'll see information on booking the Automation Insight session, and also more on the Automated Thought Leader Academy. So with that, that is all I got to say about that. So I will talk to you next time. And remember to stay you, and stay unique. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.